Let's kick things off with a question that I'm willing to bet hits a little too close to home for a lot of home care agencies. Are you still chasing down paper signatures for timesheet corrections? It just feels like a never-ending cycle, doesn't it?
But here's the thing, that constant chase, it's way more than just a pain in the neck. All those missing signatures are a leading cause of those dreaded overpayment letters from MCOs, managed care organizations. There's a straight line from that missing piece of paper to a potential financial clawback. And this whole situation has a name that I think is perfect: the signature scramble. It's not just something that happens once in a while. For so many agencies, it's a daily compliance headache that just drains your time, your energy, and creates a ton of stress.
So why does this scramble even happen? Well, it really boils down to this. Anytime there's a deviation from a perfect electronic visit verification record, say a manual entry or even a tiny correction, it instantly triggers the need for a full-blown paper trail. Think about that. One small change creates this massive documentation burden.
So what does that burden actually look like? Well, it's not about what seems reasonable to you or me. It's all about what the auditors and the MCOs demand. And trust me, when it comes to manual timesheet entries, their rules are absolutely non-negotiable.
What they're looking for is something called a complete proof packet. And this isn't just one document, not by a long shot. It's a very specific bundled collection of evidence that has to be put together perfectly to prove that a manually entered visit was totally legitimate.
And just look at everything that goes into this packet. You need the visit record. Okay. You need a written reason for the manual entry. And then come the signatures. Not one, not two, but 3 of them: the caregivers, the participants, and someone from your agency. That is 5 separate pieces of information you have to track down for every single correction.
Compliance experts are crystal clear on this. Their rule of thumb is simple and pretty unforgiving. If any of those required signatures are missing, it can absolutely trigger an overpayment. The connection is direct, and the financial risk is very, very real. Okay, so after laying out all that chaos and financial risk, it's pretty obvious there has to be a better way, right? And that brings us to the real turning point, the digital fix. It's all about making that shift from the stressful paper chase to a workflow that has digital clarity and, most importantly, control.
And I mean, the difference between the old way and the new way is just night and day. The old way is all about chasing people down, scanning and filing documents, and scrambling like crazy right before an audit. The new way, it's so much simpler. You send a secure request, they sign it remotely on their phone, and the system files it for you automatically. It's just a fundamentally calmer, more efficient way to work.
So what is this game-changing solution? It's the One Time Timesheet Procedure, and the key is that it has eSignature requests built right into the workflow. This isn't some separate tool you have to juggle. It's an integrated part of the process designed specifically to solve this exact problem. All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts here. How exactly does an e-signature process streamline everything? How does it take that chaotic paper chase and turn it into a simple, manageable task?
Well, it breaks down into 3 beautifully simple steps. Step 1, right from the timesheet exception itself, you just click to send a secure e-signature request. Step 2, the caregiver and the participant get it, and they can sign from any device, anywhere they are. And step 3, my favorite part, the system automatically does the filing, bundling that signed document right up with the visit record and the reason notes. That's it. Done.
And just like that, you've satisfied the auditor's formula. You've got the visit record, you've got the reason, and now you have all the signatures all bundled together digitally. That complete proof packet we were talking about, it's created instantly with 0 manual labor. But let's be real, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal here is avoiding those costly overpayments. This workflow isn't just about making life in the office a little easier, it's about protecting your agency's revenue and its financial stability. This number right here really puts the change into perspective. Instead of waiting days or even weeks for a caregiver to come into the office to sign a piece of paper, the typical turnaround for a fully signed and documented exception drops to just 24 to 48 hours. And here's what that looks like visually. It's pretty dramatic, right? The old paper chase can leave a compliance issue open for weeks, leaving your agency exposed to risk that entire time. With e-signatures, that window of risk just shrinks to a day or 2. That is a massive improvement for your compliance and your cash flow. So what are the real-world results when you put this all together for your agency? Well, it means you're actually preventing those overpayment letters. You're simplifying audit prep. You can prove every single service with total evidence. And you finally get to stop scrambling for signatures because all the required documents are bundled securely and automatically.
You know, what this really all comes down to is a fundamental shift in how you operate. You're moving away from a reactive, high-risk process where you're always playing catch-up, and you're moving toward a proactive, secure workflow where compliance is just built right in.
And that really leaves us with one final crucial thought. Take a hard look at your current process for handling timesheet corrections, for chasing down all 5 of those pieces of evidence. And just ask yourself honestly, is your workflow truly audit-proof?